For this next one, you'll need to go to the PS Photo Corrections folder, and the photo you need is called Color Balance. And here we have a mural that was painted on the ceiling of one of the mini stops in Rome that I had. And the light wasn't really all that great. And with all the different colors, it kind of threw some different casting on the image than what I would want. So what I want to do is I want to add a color balance adjustment layer. So I'm going to come down here to the two-sided circle and choose color balance right here. Notice that it puts the layer on top of it. So again, this is another method for non-destructive editing because the original stays in place. Once I apply that, we show up with our properties. Okay, here is the color balance, and properties can adjust shadows, midtones, and highlights. We'll start with the midtones. And if I look at the photo, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that there's a little too much red in there. There's a lot of red casting in there. So I am going to drag it down a little bit to the left, which is actually adding cyan. That's a bluish color. Okay, so I have to be careful that I don't go too far because then that will change the color of that. So I'm going to stop right around there. I am going to play with this a little bit. I think I'm going to add a little bit of green, and I probably want to get rid of a little yellow, but I don't know, I don't want to add too much blue. Okay, so right around there. And again, this is one of those things that there is no magic number. All you can do is play with the sliders, experiment, be patient, because even when you try one, if we go now to the shadows, we may have to go back and adjust again. So I'm going to reduce this again, just a little bit. I'm going to reduce the green just a little bit, and I'm going to add just a little bit of blue. So it's already looking better. The last one I'm going to do is the highlights, and I'm actually going to reduce that quite a bit. So it's at a -22 for me. I'm going to go down into the magenta a little. And then positive with the blue a little. Now, the only way to compare is to hide that layer and look at the original. And that is a pretty considerable difference between the changes we've made and the original one. I like the way that looks. I'm going to keep it as such, and then I'm going to go ahead and save this. Remember, we always want to save as a Photoshop file first, so you'll need to go to your OneDrive, find your Photoshop folder, then the corrections folder. Remember that we need to keep the name of the assignment, so all I'm changing is the hashtag to the name of the period, or the number of your period, underscore, and then your last name, and then keep color balance. And then I'll go back one more time and do a save as and change the file type to a JPEG and keep those default options.